There will be no, I repeat, there will be no LGBTQ slander in this video. If that's what you clicked here for, get the fuck on, you ugly bitch. But what we will be doing today is we will be carefully dissecting what the LGBTQIA plus identity can look like when superimposed with religion, when self-hatred is involved, when power is involved, and when artistic ability is involved. Now that everybody that I fuck with is here, y'all, welcome back to Face Philosophy. If you're new here, hey honey, make yourself home and subscribe. Your girl has 2 psychology degrees, but the job market is giving me the biggest fuck you in exchange for my hard work and triumph over the racist cesspool that academia is. With all of that said, if you would like to support my channel because you appreciate the type of work I'm doing here, you can donate to the channel. I'll have that information in the description and in the pinned comment. But if you don't have no monies like me, I completely understand. Here's what you can do. Hit that sub button. Hit that like button. Make sure you comment and let me know what you want to see on my channel next. And don't forget, turn on those notifications. You did what you needed to do? All right then, follow me. Tyler, you ain't sleep. I been seen you. I been peeped you. Now it's time for you to stop playing in our faces. Is it really all right to cross-dress for Christ? Let's get into it.
The allegations.
Everyone has their reckoning when they know they doing wrong. And it might just be time for Tyler Perry to face the music. Something has always been off about him to me. I don't know if it's his smile or his chin or his caricatures of Black women. Well, alas, the blog girlies are saying we might just have another freaky frog on our hands. Accordingly, Tyler Perry is being sued by the former Oval actor Derek Dixon for alleged sexual assault. He's being sued for a whopping 260 million macaroonies. Okay, y'all? Uh-oh. You see that there? That's a white boy. Ooh, you know, she's in trouble now. Today, I'm not going through what the blogs are saying. This is something new, something fresh. This is a psychological analysis of Mr. Tyler Perry. What could possibly be going on in the mind of a billionaire with power and access to resources? He couldn't be intentionally exploiting others. Nah. He couldn't be manipulative and narcissistic in his self-perception. No, he couldn't be like our other billionaire daddies, could he? Yeah, so everything I say in this video is alleged, right? So, and mainly my opinion, you know, as somebody who holds psychology degrees, so yeah. But anywho, moving on. Let's explore the closet.
The look of gay is in your eyes.
JK. Gayness doesn't and shouldn't have a look because it excludes gay people who don't necessarily fit into that box. But if it did have a look, all right, for real, I'm just playing. Don't take me serious. I mean, take me seriously, but not that damn serious. Fuck. I can joke like this. I'm a lesbian, right? So it's like how Black people can say our variation of the N-word and y'all gotta mind y'all damn business. So mind your business, ho. But for real, ever since I was a little girl, Tyler Perry was always gay in my household. He was clearly she. He was clearly cunt. He was clearly the baddie bee. I mean, in his plays and in his movies, he was in full drag. Yet, the other day when I was talking to my cousin, love you cousin, you always get my mental cogs going, I had to question what about Tyler Perry made him seem more gay to me than all the other Black men and non-Black men doing caricatures of women in drag. I think for me, it started with the plays and all the unnecessarily shirtless men and the awkward way Medea was sexualized as a character. She was always trying to tempt the young whippersnappers. Hello? Then came Tyler's awkwardness in other roles where he was playing a straight male who was married, maybe with a wife and kids. As Tyler has built his empire and secured more control over his production, distribution, and creative expression, you can't help but notice an uptick in gay love scenes that are very explicit, right? While his other shows, maybe his sitcoms and, comedies, they still seem to be geared towards that more conservative, religious, older population, right? But who knows? Based on this lawsuit, it's alleged that, he may be a closeted gay. I never heard of him or seen him loving on a man in public. So it's giving closet to me, if it's true. Allegedly. So, as a closeted gay man, he may be using his power and resources to manipulate and abuse those most vulnerable, seeking access to his resources and entry into the industry. Wait, don't that sound familiar?
Jesus gave me a mission to make plays and dress like women, to wear corsets and real fine linen, big bras with a lot of packing in them. Am I feminine? I know you have suspicions, but I'm my own man. Trust me, we can switch positions. It's alright to cross-dress for pride. It's alright to cross-dress for pride.
Wow. Is that in the play?
No, we just do that for fun. Come, let me show you the compound.
What happened, Tyler? The psychology of Mr. Perry the Platypus. A while back, I watched Tyler's documentary called Maxine's Baby. Wait, hold up. I'm just not peeping again that he's relying on a black woman's story, even when telling his own. Anywho, he can love his mama. I'm not hating on that. But just a short gist of this documentary in case you haven't seen it. Like I said, it's been a while for me, so let me know if I missed anything in the comments. So basically, Maxine is his mama, Emmett is his father. His daddy was abusive to his mama. He describes his mama as kind, gentle, and kind of passive when it came to the abuse. He also experienced sexual assault as a child and experienced depression and suicidal thoughts into his teenage years, and also homelessness as an adult before, his plays really took off. So there's a lot of trauma there for Tyler. He even later discovered through DNA testing that the abusive man wasn't even really his father. So, there's some trust issues there with that. And, during the abuse he endured, his writing, his creativity, his imagination got him through that. And while experiencing abuse, he would, imagine different places, different things to write about, things like that. So basically disassociating. Adding the context of his background makes these alleged text messages even more damning, right? So these text messages are on TMZ. I'm not going to be including them here, but you can view them on their website and just view them and listen while I talk about it, because I will be using some excerpts. But yeah, so these alleged messages from Tyler Perry to the alleged victim say a lot about his personality, his psychological state of being on the regular, and just how he tends to approach pursuing his gay identity, allegedly. For example, his need to be glazed for that photo of him next to that jet ski. Cha! You don't see that stud? I feel like he's really showing his age right here, allegedly, because at least for me, as a lesbian, in the lesbian community, stud means black, masculine, presenting female. And I feel like only the old heads be calling men studs. Like, what? Maybe that's in the gay community. Y'all let me know. The one where he sent just Jacob when he felt like the dude wasn't understanding whatever he was saying or whatever, that made me the most uncomfortable among one other, because it's like a clear sign of the gaslighting and grooming that he was trying to do. The most crazy one of all to me is when he's allegedly telling Derek that he has friends that are 50 to 60 years old, Tyler's 55, by the way, that still struggle with religious guilt around their sexuality. And he says that you can be free of religious guilt and still believe in Christ. Okay, but the last time I checked, the religion was built on fear and repentance. Honestly, I think Derek was just trying to hold him off with the therapy stuff, because he clearly was not interested in Tyler's alleged pursuit. So he mainly was probably just trying to stay on his good side and have access to the resources that Tyler was promising him. Someone's sexuality is none of our business, but I do think it's important to discuss how being in a closet can impact somebody within our community. Being loved in private is not easy, and I think it directly kind of ties into that common theme or saying that homophobes use, like sexuality, homosexuality is something deviant and to be ashamed of. And that's why people in the closet don't share it with the people closest to them, you know? And so that could be a very lonely experience. But in Tyler's case, if he was a closeted man, then he would not only just be sharing it with the people closest to him, he would be sharing it with the world that is constantly critiquing him and paying close attention to him. I could not even imagine that type of pressure. Now, how that would impact his pursuit and expression of his gay identity, that is important. If he is ashamed or in fear of his public persona being changed by him coming out, then this behavior of him being pushy, manipulative, and leveraging his power to get submission over others who are vulnerable is not a surprise. To have grown up as a kid who experienced abuse and even powerlessness into adulthood, it makes sense now that he is a person who almost has infinite power and resources that he would use his power in this way. It makes complete sense. Billionaires exploit people. There's no other way around it. I mean, there's no other way to get to billionaire status without exploiting other people. So I also thought it was interesting that there is a clear compartmentalization between him being Medea and then him also marketing to older religious populations, because whether you like it or not, Tyler Perry being dressed as a woman doing drag is a part of the queer aesthetic, queer identity. So as humans, we are creatures of habit and we recognize patterns. Tyler Perry knows the amount of power and influence that he has, and he leverages it, like I said, via exploitation or any other means to get what he wants. As a billionaire, he has a power that none of us, majority of us, will ever experience in a lifetime or even over generations. People who know Tyler very well speak to his attention to detail and his intentional, way that he goes about his art. So he knows exactly what he's doing when he is pursuing allegedly a homoerotic relationship with someone who is, beneath him as far as the hierarchy. So that's why his need for control and submission shows up in his artwork as well. Think about it. The way his father and his mother are described in his documentary and other places where he's spoken about his past, that submissive Black woman, that abusive Black men show up in his movies and shows. Art is subjective, and this is what happens when you live vicariously through your art.